Tyler Styer is taking on Tony Chohan in this one. 50 minutes race to 7, as it has been all the way. And this is for a place in the semi-finals in a couple hours' time against Billy Thorpe. It is going to be Tony to get us underway. Summer Webb and Collins Newey with you for this one.
Looking forward to it. This is going to be like the what would you say, almost cliche matchup of creativity versus methodology, right?
Yeah.
Tyler Styer, like a very deliberate player, and Tony Chohan, best well known for his mind in one pocket, which is a very complex game that we play out here in America. And I'm sure he can apply the same concepts to 8-ball when the rack gets a little complicated. So it'll be fun to watch.
It has been fun to see Tony kind of grow into the tournament. We saw him in the shootout, and here he is in the quarterfinals, kind of trying to make his mark on 8-ball.
He's up against a pretty tough competitor here, though, in Tyler Styer. He's been breaking incredible and dealing with problems in a really fantastic way. So he just had a heck of a match versus I'm completely spacing on the gentleman's last name, Lance. It went
Schofield.
Yeah, Schofield. It went like 3-3, 4-4, 5-5, and then Tyler got to the hill first and finished the deal, but it was a long match.
It was a long match because this quarterfinal now was actually due to be on before the junior final, but the match the last 16 match lasted so long that the junior final was ready to go. The juniors were happy to get out there and get it done.
Of course,
and
rock
therefore
and roll.
it was, so they were, gracious enough to get their match on early, and obviously they gave us a treat of a dramatic ending there. But that shows you how tight that match was, and obviously there's no match clock on the on any of the other tables here in the Shreveport Convention Center, so you can be a little bit more drawn out.
Sure. Now Tyler's working his way through this one. It looks like he's taking solids here and trying to address the 7-ball right now. Does a good job making good contact, but gonna have to come with something here.
Can he make the 4 in the corner? If he can, then big shot to win the rack, really. The rest would be plain sailing. If not, he's got some problems.
He's gone back and forth quite quickly between checking the hit spot and the line behind the cue ball, so it looks like the ball goes. And he'll be able to use the 7-ball to get back to deal with the 6 in the side. Doesn't want to drift too far here. It looks like he missed the 4.
And I think it's exactly your call there. He was worried about drifting too far to the right as we look, and the 8-ball getting into play, not being on the 7, and well, that's the reason for the miss, making it on the straight side of the pocket, but too much.
Yeah, and the stripes are all wide open except for the 15 ball, which I'm sure Tony will be able to sort out some way. That's probably why he's dealing with the 11 ball first, because it opens up the opportunity to shoot the 15 in that pocket, and he can use either the 14 or the 9 to get there. Unfortunate cue ball here, though, making things a little bit messy here right out the gate. He's taking a quick little deep breath and acknowledging that things got a little bit more complicated. See if he can make a shot or two to get back in line. Pretty nicely done there. Should be very doable from here. I love the way that Tony moves the cue, man. He's got a super loose wrist, and the way that the tip of the cue actually moves in his practice strokes it's almost hypnotizing. It looks so smooth, so effortless.
Yeah, it's the rhythm, it's the feel.
Yeah. You can see just a little bit of vertical motion as the tip moves forward and backward towards the cue ball, and he just delivers dead straight through the cue ball, and he can get a lot of power out of it too because that wrist is so loose. Nice touch of inside on that ball, coming down for the 10 ball, and we're probably on to the next rack here.
Yeah, just highlighting his sort of feel there. That pace control was perfect.
Simon, is this the first match that you've watched Tony on the TV table, or has he played on the TV table already?
He's been out there a couple of times
throughout
the weekend.
Times.
Obviously played in the shootout. He was out there. Who did he play? I can't remember who he played yesterday, but he was out there yesterday as well.
Okay. Must have missed that.
Yeah.
it's one of those games that it just looks so simple on the surface, but when you address all of those complexities, it really can come with any outcome.
Well, Tyler's been breaking brilliantly this week. Let's see how good his hit is on the opening break for him.
6 ball straight in the pocket. Cue ball kissed into, honestly, probably the best spot on the table for any opening options here. He's directly in the middle of every single object ball on the table.
I think if he doesn't get kicked here, the cue ball just parks itself there anyway.
Yeah.
It lands. It looks like it's going to stop, gets a couple of bumps, but that's a great hit.
Electing solids here because the 7 ball covers the pocket for the 15, and he gets that out of traffic for himself immediately with the first shot. 1 ball does pass up into the, or sorry, I should say down into the other corner, but I would not be surprised if he just plays the combo here. It's so elementary, it's so reliable with the 7 ball hanging fairly deep in the pocket and allows him to reposition himself with the 5 ball. So both players looking really solid in their first breaks here. No pun intended as Tyler shoots the solids. Hey.
Yeah.
Nice little stun shot here. If he decides to shoot the 3, it looks like he's cutting the 1 ball all the way up the rail, which is actually a little bit surprising to me. Maybe using the 2 ball to stop the cue ball? No, he's able to put enough inside to open the angle up. Really nice shot there. I know it looks very simple what he just did right there, but he put a perfect amount of inside to open up the angle, and it ends up leaving him ideal on either ball here.
You will need to play one good shot just to get down onto the 8, but you should have a nice line to be able to play.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Just the diagonal straight down.
Really natural shot here. The outside spin here, a little bit more, like the exact amount of outside spin here that you use is a little bit more important than how low you hit on the cue ball, because there's so little distance between the rail and the object ball there that he was striking, and obviously ends up almost perfect, almost ball in hand shape, and we're going to be looking at 1-1 with Tony to break. So it's important time to keep things rolling for Tony here. Huge break here.
Yeah, this time he gets it right. And I think he's going to be, well, there's a bit of work here. It's not absolutely simple.
Yeah, looking things over, I think you'd have to take, well, maybe not have to, because the 5 is accessible from being close to the rail, close to the long rail that it's on, but I think you got to go with the stripes here because the 13 allows you to develop the 12 ball.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think there's problems on both sides, but I just favor the stripes.
He's falling down on this 2 ball here, it looks like, or maybe the 1. Yeah, the 2 ball. So he does go with solids. So it'll be probably the 1 ball. Well, if you use the 1 ball to develop the 7 early, you've got a risk of tying things up. So let's watch the creative mind at work here. This is the shot of the rack when you choose solids, because you either have to land absolutely perfect on the 5 ball, cinching the cue ball back, or, oh my goodness, oh wow, he threads the needle with the cue ball and ends up married to the 5 ball. Does he have a shot on the 7 in the side pocket? Imagine.
I think that's what he's played for. I think this is a brilliant shot.
That is about the narrowest of margins for error right there that he just played into.
He shaved the 7 on the way through there. That was brilliant.
Wow, I am actually sitting here in awe that he played to the short side of the 7 right there. That was absolutely fantastic. And he's got an open shot on the 5 to finish the rack. And rolls forward to the 8.
The gap he played for there was, I mean, we saw it there on the replay, is about, what, a ball and a quarter.
Maybe, yeah.
It's just over the ball's width, you know, and I know good things could have happened with a nudge there, but he was playing the gap.
Yeah.
And that was brilliant.
You know, well, it really depends on how the balls break apart, actually. So, that being said, we can watch Tyler pop them open right now. Tyler's been absolutely smashing them all week. Getting a nice hop on the cue ball. Just like that. Stops it with a perfect amount of overspin. Did he make a ball? Or was that a dry break? Tony standing up.
Yeah, Tony wasn't sure, but it's Tony's chance. And that's a tough one for Tyler because he did hit it well. I think from what I've seen throughout the tournament, I think Tyler's breaking with the most power and control combined. Billy was breaking huge when we saw him a little bit earlier on, but the control from Tyler throughout the tournament, every time we've seen him play, that cue ball feels like it's being parked every time.
Yeah, he plays with a nice the pop break where the cue ball pops off the table a bit, just like you would see in a normal 10-ball rack, but Billy's been hitting with more of a muted break, keeping the cue ball on the table and stunning it off the stack. But Tony with a nice opening shot there. Taking no time to get down on this thin cut on the 1 to open up the rest of these solids. And leaving himself in a spot where he's going to have to find a narrow window for the 7-ball or play the bank at some point. And that, I'll mention again, Tony being a one-pocket specialist, that short, maybe 1 diamond or so bank, it comes up quite commonly in that game. So I wouldn't be surprised if at some point he just decides to bank that ball if he doesn't have another way to get it out. Or lay on the ball in that window between the 9 and the 14. Oh, boy.
Oh, that's not good.
It's not good, but might be workable here. If you find a thin cut on the 7-ball and find a pocket, you've got insurance with the 2-ball laying over the corner. Yeah, tough to pocket the ball, but when you've been playing all day, I'd say he's got to be the favorite to make it. Great shot.
That's brilliant. He's coming up with the shots here, and he's back into really good shape.
Yeah, he could see the 2-ball no problem from here as well.
And maybe not quite the way he was playing it, but he's got the hardest ball out the way, and now it's open. It's run them through a 2-rack lead.
Oh
wow.
My goodness, right as you say it.
Wow, how can he make what he's just made in the last 2 racks and then miss that ball?
Oh, my goodness. We have not seen many blunders on this table at all this week, and that is probably the biggest blunder that I've seen.
From, you know, some of the amateurs aside, from any of the professionals we've seen out there, I think that's the easiest ball miss we've seen the whole tournament.
Yeah, astonishing moment for Tyler to possibly come back, steal this game, and tie things up instead of Tony taking the lead, manhandling the table and taking the lead instead.
I'm just in shock.
Yeah.
I was fully expecting 3-1.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we, as commentators, probably get a little bit guilty of kind of almost giving them the frame before they've won it. But I feel like I was there.
Well, I mean, certainly when you look at the odds, right? If you were to play that rack from that spot with Tony Chohan in the driver's seat 100 times, how many times do you think he doesn't get out? It's wild.
I would have said 100.
Almost 100, yeah.
Almost 100. Yeah. But yeah, 99 for sure.
And here we are.
That's the one.
Tyler playing a nice plant. Is that what you call that?
We call it the plant. You call it the combination.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd call it a plant, to be honest with you. But
yeah, I also
don't know why you call it a bank. But whatever works.
That's fair. That is fair. Depends on how much money it makes you.
Yeah, that's true.
Couple rails forward, nice little punch shot here, I would assume, or draw the ball, yeah. Getting to the good side of the table, and really could play either ball here. Could play the 12 ball, and then roll forward, play the 13 in the top right. Or play the 13, roll forward 1 rail if you want to let the stroke out. You could draw the ball. There's so many options here. He decides to punch out 2 rails. That's a confident stroke right there. That decision right there, even though he came up short. Or sorry, no, I didn't see the 14 ball on the table. But either way, the stroke there shows his confidence in how he's been hitting the ball all day.
It's just slightly overdone this one, but no real problems.
Yeah, I think it's just enough angle to roll forward and get to the short rail. And for Tyler Styer, you're saying happy days. Thought that this would be the one that you stay in your seat the whole time, and now you've got a shot on the 8 ball. And breaking, right?
Yeah, back on serve, really. And he would have seen what we saw, which was fully expecting to go 3-1 down and playing on the smaller table with the American balls. You expect a few more clusters out there. Well, Tony loses the cue ball on this one.
Does make a ball, gets a few friendly kisses to hold the cue ball in an ideal position. Certainly not a horrible position. You've got an opening shot for either grouping, and in this situation, almost certainly taking stripes because of all the congestion there with the solids next to the 9 ball. And the fact that the 9 ball passes into the pocket that he just shot the, I believe it was 11 into. So, also the stripes are all on the same side of the table as the 8 ball, so once you clear up this group on this side of the table, the head rail of the table, you can work your way back down to the 8 ball. Our referee getting in nice and close to make sure nobody touches the 12 ball.
You've been walking around and meeting and chatting to people. Anyone kind of mention that one during the tournament? Because maybe for a lot of the amateurs, it's maybe a little bit uncommon for them.
Oh, the all-ball fouls?
All-ball fouls, yeah.
No, actually.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the discussion about all-ball fouls and cue ball fouls only here in America has to do with, who's going to make the call when somebody touches a ball. And I've seen a lot of integrity in this room. So
yeah.
when issues come up, the foul has been called. So I don't think there's been any problems with it.
Tony's just put himself in a touch of bother here with it coming up a little bit short.
Looks like he can see the edge of this ball just barely. Yeah. Gets a nice little nudge off the 8 ball to retain position to either stroke the ball in the side or play it and cinch it up into the corner.
Yeah, he could have gone the other way around, but it didn't pass the 8 ball, so had to go into the side first.
Yeah, nice little cinch shot there. And able to seal the deal. It becomes the whole game.
Yeah.
The whole game becomes the mental side and the chance of how the ball's spread.
Well, first time he loses the cue ball a touch, but not too bad, and he's got a great layout.
Yeah, monster break, making, I think, at least a couple balls, and everything spread wide open. Tony's going to settle into his chair a little bit, and
this one might not take too long.
Yeah.
This is as good as it gets, really.
Real nice shot there. Confident stroke. Pure straight through the ball. And an angle on the 3 to pretty much achieve any side or any place on the head side of this table if he decides to go that route. Yeah, I like this way as well. Play to the other side of the 1. You can either cut the 4 here and go around the 1 back to center table.
I like the way he's looking, because if he just draws this back a touch, gets on the 4, then it tracks him down a nice line down the table.
Right. You can cinch the ball back, and then even if you don't get here on the stroke, if something funny happens on the stroke and you're hooked on the 4 ball, you've got options down table. So, yeah. options galore on this layout. I'd say the crowd is slowly growing out there. At the beginning of the junior match, things were pretty sparse up there in the stands, but you could tell as things were getting close to Hill, and as it was looking like it was going to go to the shootout, things were getting pretty packed out there. I think people responding really well to the way that the format kind of builds an excitement, like especially in this situation where we have Tyler now with a great opportunity to go tie game at 3-3. We'll probably see the same thing start to happen with this match as well.
Yeah, it'd be great to see a lot come in for the final session later on today. 4 more matches to go after this. 2 semis and the 2 finals.
And the winner here plays
Billy Thorpe in the semi-final. That will be the first match when we come back at 5 o'clock.
That is going to be an exciting match. Yeah. Here we go, Tony Chohan with a nice long flowing bridge here. Big break. Ooh, kind of a dead cue ball off the stack, and gets fairly fortunate to not scratch in the side. Gets kissed out by the 6 ball. Dry break either way, and essentially you'd probably count it about the same as ball in hand in this position with the 6 ball sitting right there. Tyler being able to use that ball to open up this traffic near the 8 ball.
Be thinking about just dropping it in and playing the 5?
I'd say you go in with a fair amount of speed here, actually. Not a ton of speed, but get things moving a little bit. Try to clear that 8 out of there. If the 5 passes, I guess it is playable.
Is he on it though?
I couldn't tell if it was tied up with the 2 ball.
I just felt the way he was queuing up to it. It just looked like maybe he was thinking about the breakout on this shot, but he might not quite be on it.
If you can draw back into the 11 ball, the 2 ball's wide open. Pretty good spot here. Blind cut though. Blind cut to the corner. Cue ball not really a worry here. Got the 4 ball sitting right over the corner pocket. You've also got the 7 ball if you somehow find yourself eclipsed by the 10. And Tony now, just moments ago, was kind of looking around with a furrowed brow, knows that he's going to find himself more than likely in his first deficit position in this match. Ooh, a little funny clip by the 7. Maybe the 7 a little bit higher than would be ideal. Fortunately, though, obviously the 1 and the 3 are on the complete opposite side of the table, so you got the real estate to let the cue ball run a little bit here.
I actually don't think he'll be too disappointed with the amount of angle he's got. Just has to pace control it.
Wow, he hit that really nice to keep the cue ball so slow.
Yeah, he held it even more than I thought he would. And maybe more than he thought he would as well. I think he'd like to have travelled a few more rolls up the table.
Hit it into the thickest side of the pocket.
He is still on the 1, so he's okay.
He's putting a touch of inside on this ball, it looks like, to use the 13 ball. And just checking to find the guaranteed shot line, meaning the line that he can roll the cue ball into to make sure that no matter what the speed after the rail, he's got a shot on the 8 ball. Great shot. Great speed control there. Taking the punch shot there, coming across the shot line. It's very easy for me and the rest of my buddies to overhit that ball.
Yeah, very good from Tyler Styer. Gets himself in front for the first time.
Again, going to expect a huge break here from Tyler. A nice pop of the cue ball. Early in the week, he kept drawing with the pop all the way back to the short rail, but it seems like he's dialed in the speed of the cloth quite well. And a marvelous spread here. Honestly, the only other guy that I've seen breaking with the head ball break, getting results like this, is Billy Thorpe.
Yeah, he's certainly figured it out.
Yeah. These are results that are really tough to beat. I mean, the other guy has got to find a way to, either slow him down when you're on your own break or keep him off the table. I know that sounds, or that's quite a bit obvious, but it can feel sometimes unbeatable when you're playing a guy that's breaking the balls this good.
Well, it makes you highlight the mistake Tony made, not going 3-1. You're playing someone that's breaking well and playing well. You just can't afford to not take the chances when they're there.
Yeah.
Especially when they're really open like they were for Tony.
I believe Tyler's just checking out the situation there with the 4-ball because he does have an opportunity to shoot it now, but he can find a better spot, it looks like.
Okay, so he's going to come across to the left-hand side, or can he just slide past with the 4?
I guess if you do cut the 4 in now, you'd nudge the 7 a little bit, maybe.
Well, yeah, but he's got the 6, and he can just come across top side.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't think if you're going to slide straight across, pardon me, I don't think that you're going to be nudging the 4 at all. He plays 2 rails into it.
Yeah, it's not perfect unless that goes long, and I don't think it does.
It's a pretty aggressive line, yeah, to get on the 4, but with how close you are to the 4-ball as well, you might even be able to draw the cue ball a little bit off of it to slow it down. He uses the 14 instead.
Well, just nudges the 8. Shouldn't really cause him any issues, but just needs to make sure he gets nice.
I'll tell you what, I hate shooting the 8-ball when it's sitting right there.
Yeah, it looks awkward, doesn't it?
Yeah. The good news, though, for Tyler is that the 8-ball is far enough from the side pocket where almost anywhere you lay on the table, there's no real worries of a scratch. It can just be a little bit distracting how close the point of that pocket is to where you make contact with the 8-ball.
Yeah, he's a touch on the straight side here, but just has to force it out. Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah, how about you just get straight in for the shot that...
Yeah.
Yeah. Create absolutely zero problems for yourself. Tyler Styer. And here's the break, too. Again, straight in the corner. 14 ball hangs up. Cue ball kissed in between these stripes, but finds its way out. And a nice open table.
Yeah, this is good here.
This is really good, yeah. Now, do the work of an open rack and hope that at some point Tyler doesn't play perfect.
He's got such a lovely laid-back, like nature around the table.
It's not just on the table; it's off the table too, man. He's, yeah. I knew his cousin well out there in Sacramento, California. Amar Kang, Tony Chohan actually grew up in the town that I play pool out of, playing pool in the room that I play pool out of, and unfortunately we lost Amar a while back. Much too early for his age, but he was a world-class player in his own right. Both guys have a very, laid-back demeanor, very easy to get along with.
You feel like that can only help you at the table. You're not getting too hot or cold. You just kind of, it's just on to the next one.
It lends to Tony's style, especially. I know I keep bringing up the game of one pocket, but how could you not with Tony Chohan at the table? But it lends to his style because he plays a very, very aggressive, high-risk, high-reward style in one pocket that if you were tightly wound, there's no way you could execute some of the shots that he shoots at regularly in that game. So. Ooh, the 12 ball gets kissed by about 3 balls to find the side pocket. And yet, Tyler again finds himself with a pretty ideal spot to be in.
Does he need to be stripes here, and does he have an opener?
I think he has an opener with the 14 ball, as it's so close to the corner.
Oh, yeah,
if he needs to go stripes, which obviously that would be preferred with the situation there with the 11 and 1. But he is slightly hindered by the 4 ball for bridging, so it might tempt him to take solids here and try to go after that traffic right now.
Well, he has the perfect ball to attack the problem straight away if he wanted to go solids. You could take the 4 ball and fire into it, but stripes seem to be the way.
Shot clock running short.
That's not good.
Not good contact on the 6 ball. Not really a look at any directly open shot on the table here.
Can you see the 13 enough to play 13 into the cushion? Make the 11. Where does the 13 go?
And where do you play your cue ball? Maybe for the 15 in the other pocket, but you're going to see a lot of movement here if that's what you shoot at.
Yeah, he gets it all wrong.
And just what Tony was looking for. Some type of opening.
First error from Tyler since the opening rack of the match.
Now Tony, though, with solids, going to have to try to play this one as a ticky shot off the 11 ball, it looks like. And it does go. Losing the cue ball a bit, though, because it got kissed again by the 11. Pretty fortunate for that 6 ball to end up over the corner for him to reposition himself. Looking at 2 rail position into the good zone. That's where he's gesturing his cue on the side cushion there. Looking to be coming off of that point. Ooh, goes a bit high here. Ends up kissing into the 3 ball, and he's going to have to come with another recovery shot. Yeah, this is going to take... He's definitely going to take a moment to address this one. Maybe even call for an extension if he hasn't already.
I think he's playing off the 13 into the side. Thought he could clip it back. Maybe he can. No, he could try and clip it back. Just the way he was lining up.
And then the kiss on the 13 causes a little drama. We've got some excitement here.
This is the rack, isn't it?
Yeah.
All square or Tyler on the hill.
Able to squeeze the cue ball in there to make the 4 ball, and I believe the 2 ball does pass up into the other corner.
That's the work done. Now he's got to make the balls.
Yeah. Hit that one nice and thick to slow the cue ball down. And get straight in on the 5 ball.
I think he wanted a touch more angle here.
Yeah, I would think so as well. Now he's forced to play speed. You could just let the stroke out and shoot the 8 in the same pocket. But he plays the speed option, and not sure if it passes these two stripes. I can't tell. It might just, but the blind cut in the side is certainly on offer as well.
I think that's the one.
Wow, Tony kind of just hanging on for dear life in that rack. A few fortunate positions where the cue ball just ended up in ideal position to stay alive. Look at how long his stroke is. The tip of his cue coming back into the closed loop of his closed bridge on every stroke. And he is able to pot a ball on the break, but the first rack where we're seeing an actual truly congested cluster that has no options on it, that being the 7, 6, and 9. And it looks like he's taking stripes here to use the 12 ball at some point to maybe develop that cluster. I would assume you'd want to do it sooner than later because you've got the 10 and 13 laying right there for insurance, and he's got a little straight here to do it now.
Yeah, it's a loose shot, that, because the cannon, the breakout shot is there, isn't it? If you just stay high, you can play it with control. You should pop everything on. So he's going to have to go back for it.
A little less insurance this time now, just the 10 ball. And want to hit this at a speed where the 9 ball lays up over the pocket and doesn't tie up with the 15.
Wow.
Only just. I mean, it's still doable from here, but not ideal for sure. This is very straight on the 10 ball.
He has to get back to the 15 with an angle to bump the 3. That's not ideal.
And Tony just showing us he's got the stroke to do it, but is he going to get the cue ball there? I don't think so. Not quite. There's no gap between the 9 and the cue ball here.
There's the tiniest gap.
Sure, a big enough gap for it to not be a foul to shoot into the 9 or to clip the 9 here.
But you can't do anything with it, so just going to have to control it and turn the table over to Tyler.
Try to keep these solids tied up. Very nice shot there by Tony.
Yeah, that is very good.
The one pocket brain of the kick into the 9 and then get the cue ball to the rail.
Yeah, you've got to get that cue ball to the rail. That's the key. Tyler's got to play one good safety shot here, and he should be able to take control of this frame.
What do we got here? We'll have to look at the 9 ball, maybe goading Tony into opening these balls up for him. It's going to be really tough to make good contact and get a rail and not give something up to Tyler with the amount of distance between the cue ball and the 9 ball, and he's not allowed to take an intentional foul here.
No, we've already seen that once today in the junior final. Have to make an attempt to hit a stripe here.
Just a little nuanced rules question here. What if the shot clock runs down? Is that considered an intentional foul?
Well, if he stood there and just let it run down, then yeah, that would be an intentional foul.
I see.
So he's got to attempt to play a shot.
This is a decent idea here. I believe he was trying to go 3 rails, going short rail, left-hand long rail, right-hand long rail, and then into the balls, but ends up finding the cue ball really long there and opening everything up for Tyler and giving him ball in hand.
And this is big for Tyler because we're talking about the sort of the pressure swings of who has the breaks in these remaining 3 racks. Tyler has the break in the next, so essentially he'll feel like this is his table now and he needs to run it out and get the victory.
Looks like he's choosing to pot the 6 now to get into the optimal zone to deal with the 4, 7, and 5. And it's all smooth sailing after that. Just head to the other side of the table, clean up the 2 solids up there, and hopefully find yourself on the hill. that shot right there is so versatile. When you're close to the ball and the ball is fairly close to the pocket there, you can almost achieve any position on the table. It's one of those subtle things about pool that when the pros are doing what they're doing, it looks like the game is just easy. It looks like, oh, this is just a game where you just got to make balls. But when you realize that they're placing the cue ball intentionally, and you find for yourself that shooting a simple shot like that, you can go anywhere on the table, and you start to do it for yourself, the game all of a sudden becomes really exciting. Get nice and low, I think, on the 2-ball here. And it doesn't really matter which pocket he decides to shoot the 8 in here. Even if you overrun the ball, you've got rebate options, as I call them, if you overrun the ball, and you can shoot it in the side. But he does come up a little thin here for the corner pocket.
Yeah, he'll be a little bit frustrated with that, but no mistakes if the 8-ball goes in, no worries if the 8-ball goes in, and of course it does. So that's the first job done for Tyler. Said it was his table.
Huge break, cue ball way off the table. Ends up landing and finding rest near the short rail. I believe he did make a ball. No,
frustration for Tyler. Now he has to sit and hope he gets back to the table. The momentum swings, the mental swings out there.
Wow. Isn't it crazy how many times you come up dry when you get to the hill?
And we are about to go to the 15 seconds a shot as well. We're 45 seconds away from the last 10 minutes, which will have a bit of a factor. I don't see the match clock running down, but the 15 seconds a shot will make this a little bit dicier out there.
Yeah, just for reference, Tony would have 2 seconds left at this point with a 15-second shot clock. But taking plenty of time to make sure he comes up with the right decision here, as he's found an opening. Gonna nudge this 15-ball open here. Sorry, rather the 1-ball playing a...
Wow, huge. Tyler was 4 steps to the table when the 1-ball went in.
Wow.
What a moment that is for T-Rex. Now he's tied up the 8-ball pretty badly, but the fact that he's still at the table is hugely fortunate, and he still has a chance to win this rack.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's going to come up with another exciting shot at some point here. Probably right now. Oh no, absolute disaster.
He had a good roll previously, not this time. He can see the 4-ball, but I don't think you can do a lot with it.
Oh my goodness. Wow. He elevates the cue and swerves it a little bit to attempt a 3-ball full table combo and barely jaws the pocket.
That was ridiculous.
That was unbelievable. Imagine if that ball went, the crowd would have gone nuts.
Oh dear. And now he has to hope, and he's opened everything up.
Yeah.
And Tyler Styer's at the table, chance to go and win the match. You'd say just the 13-ball. Bit of attention on that one. The rest is all there.
Yeah, just the immediate get down and fire by Tony Chohan there on that 3-ball combo perfectly illustrates what I was talking about that high risk, high reward mentality with no fear.
Also, that get down and fire, you kind of have to at 15 seconds.
Of course, yeah. He almost got there.
Oh, doesn't get his breakout. So he's going to have to rework it.
Yeah, I'd assume that he'd at this point need to work his way back up table, get the 12 out of the way, and then somehow find a way to use the 14 to get straight in on the 13 up table. Other than that, things are, I mean, that's a tall order in its own right.
Could be a bank for the semi-finals, really, if he wants to go that way. No, he's going to nudge it now, or try to.
Oh, and he's not going to. Oh, he nudged the 4 as well. Imagine if it opened it up just enough to be able to play the 13 rail first.
Well, he's coming around to have a look. I think it has. I think he can squeeze it in there now. That's a huge roll for him.
That is huge to catch the 13 and the 4 in the same shot. Is he in position here to be able to
I
roll
think
to the 14 as well?
might have a turn too much angle.
Yeah, it's kind of in between, almost like you want to. Yeah, he at that speed to come across to the 14, it makes the pocket way smaller. And he already had to play it thick and kind of flirt with the point of the pocket as it was. What a dramatic game here for the what looks like to be second to last game of the match. And Tony's just running around the table here, ready to get on with it.
Just about gets there as well. That was a bit dicey.
Yeah, second time we've seen him shoot a similar shot into this pocket, but he gets there. And we're looking at a hill-hill match with a 15-second shot clock. Now, I'd normally say that everything is on this one shot, and as much as this one shot makes a huge difference in the rack, that shot clock could make things interesting here. Great spread, did make a ball, has an opening shot on the stripes, and I believe every stripe has a pocket if I'm reading the table correctly.
Maybe the 10 just needs a bit of attention.
But he's got the 11 right next to it. And he's going to be moving fairly quickly here.
Yes, can you figure it out at 15 seconds a shot? But this is for a place in the semi-finals.
Moving forward here, you gotta avoid the 4-ball here, so probably going to cue low. Yeah, nice punch up table. Needs a shot on this 14. Or he's going to have to take another long shot now on the 9-ball, try to hold position for the 10. The 2-ball comes into play here, if not absolutely, but in your mind as well. You're not able to kind of roll the ball through the shot. You've got to cinch the cue ball around the 2.
Yeah, this needs to be struck well.
He uses the 2 and ends up straight in on the 11 and moves the 2 out of the way so the 10 ball's playable up table.
Yeah, how good's that?
That turned out quite nice. Oh, imagine being elevated by the 8-ball there.
Yeah, he could have done with another few rolls on that one.
He may play the bank. And especially with the shot clock running short, he's just committed already. No time to readdress the 14. Plays the bank and it comes short.
And it's going to be checked for a time foul as well. They have called a time foul. As I say, I don't think it really makes too much difference. I mean, it does give Tyler the opportunity to place the cue ball wherever he wants, but he has what he wants, which is cue ball in hand, or has an opportunity at the table is what I'm getting at, but he will move where it is.
Yeah.
It does make it slightly easier just to deal with this 1-2 situation, but not too much.
He very quickly gets down, takes ball in hand with elevated cue over the 10, no problem. And the table is open. Tyler just playing the cue ball into the optimal zone on the table there with options to play either the 5 or the 6, whatever he ends up best on. He's chosen the 5-ball. And it looks like a stop shot here will leave him with an ideal angle to get back across the table to the 6. And it looks to be that after a very dramatic last 3 games, Tyler's looking to be the final inductee into the semifinals.
One more good positional shot required.
Just slides across and decides to use all 6 pockets, bringing the side pocket into play to seal the deal. Tyler Styer. And the final 8-ball of this match.
What a match. What a match. Tony Chohan playing a huge part of it. He had his chance. He wasn't able to take it, and it is Tyler Styer that moves on to the semi-finals in a matchup with Billy Thorpe.